Chosen one, stop what you are doing right now and lock every part of your attention onto this message. That restlessness you have been carrying all week, that low hum of something pressing against the inside of your chest that you cannot name and cannot shake, that is not anxiety. That is activation. The enemy has been working overtime against you for one reason, and one reason only. He knows what you are carrying. And he knows that the moment you understand what is in your hands, his entire assignment against your life collapses. It all shifts today. The confusion, the misdirection, the fog that has been making you second-guess every step. But hear this clearly. It is not shifting because of luck, and it is not shifting because of anything outside of you. It is shifting because of what you have already been given and what you have already done. Think back to that moment this week when something rose up inside of you. Maybe it was a word you spoke into a room and the atmosphere changed. Maybe it was a prayer you prayed at 3 hours in the morning when no one was watching and no one was listening except heaven. Maybe it was a moment when you chose to stay and not run, to hold your peace and not retaliate, to keep believing when every visible sign was telling you to stop. You did not know it then, but that moment was not small. That moment was a detonation. You did not find this message by accident. The algorithm did not bring you here, the Holy Spirit did. This is a divine appointment that was scheduled before the foundations of the earth were laid, and you are standing at a threshold that most people never even realize exists. Stay until the very last word of this message, because in the next few minutes, I am going to identify the exact spiritual weapon you carry. The one that has been dormant, the one the enemy has spent years trying to convince you is a flaw, a liability, a reason you are too much or not enough. I am going to walk you through the moment it was placed inside of you and why no ordinary human was supposed to receive it. And at the end, I am going to give you the declaration that activates it fully, so that when you leave this message, you leave armed. Do not click away. Your future self is on the other side of what I am about to say, and if you leave before the verdict, you walk away from the very weapon heaven deposited in you for this exact season. I know what the last 72 hours have felt like. The atmosphere has not just been heavy, it has been strange. Like the world kept moving, but something inside of you went very, very still. Maybe you were sitting alone this week, and a thought passed through your mind so clear and so sharp it startled you, and you immediately told yourself it was nothing. Or maybe you woke up at 4 in the morning this week, and you could not go back to sleep because something inside of you was awake in a way your body was not prepared for. You feel different, not better, not worse, just different. Like something shifted in a room you cannot see. And in that stillness, in that strange suspended feeling, the enemy has been whispering a very specific lie. He has been telling you that what makes you different is what disqualifies you. He has been replaying every moment you felt out of place. That moment when your sensitivity picked up on something no one else in the room could feel. That moment when your words carried a weight you did not intend. That moment when your discernment told you the truth about a situation before it revealed itself, and people looked at you like something was wrong with you. The accuser has been telling you that all of that is a burden. He has been telling you that you are too intense, too deep, too much, that you feel things no one else feels because something in you is broken, and not because something in you was chosen. But I need you to hear what the scripture actually says about this moment. 1 Corinthians 2:14 says, "The natural person does not accept the things of the Spirit of God, for they are folly to him, and he is not able to understand them because they are spiritually discerned." Listen to that. Not everyone can receive what you receive. Not everyone can feel what you feel. Not everyone can carry what you carry. The scripture does not say the spiritual person is confused. It says the natural person cannot comprehend them. That is not a flaw in your design. That is a feature of your assignment. The reason you have felt alone in rooms full of people is not because you are broken. It is because you were built for a different frequency. What you carry is not a wound. It is a weapon. The sensitivity the enemy told you to hide is a radar. The intensity people told you to suppress is a signal. The depth that made you feel like you were too much is the very thing that gives your words the weight to shift atmospheres, break cycles, and carry verdicts that other voices simply cannot deliver. The heaviness you feel right now is not the weight of being behind. It is the weight of being loaded. It is the tension of a weapon fully charged and aimed at a target the enemy does not want you to see. You are not broken. You are not disqualified. You are not carrying a flaw. You are carrying a gift that no ordinary human was supposed to have. And it is time you stopped apologizing for it. Hit the like button if you felt this message find you at the exact moment you needed it. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is the gift or the trait that people have told you all your life was too much, and you are only now beginning to see it was actually your weapon? And now that you know what you carry, the next question is not whether you are qualified. You settled that the moment you kept going, when everything told you to stop. The next question is why, for so long, have you been hiding it? Some messages don't just inform, they activate. If something stirred deep in your spirit just now, you may be ready to receive the Chosen One's blueprint. This sacred guide reveals the 8 divine patterns behind your calling, your suffering, and your destiny. It also comes with the full audiobook, so you can absorb it during prayer, rest, or quiet moments with God. And for those called to speak His truth, you'll also receive Activating Your Prophet Mantle, a powerful bonus ebook for those carrying a prophetic assignment. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now stay with me, because what I'm about to walk you through is the part most people never reach. And it is the part that changes everything. It's the sacred whisper that transforms uncertainty into an unshakable conviction, the profound understanding that shifts your entire perception of your journey and your destiny. This is not merely information. It is revelation, designed to unlock the dormant power within you and propel you into the fullness of your divine design. Prepare to see your past, your struggles, and your future through a completely new lens, a lens crafted by heaven itself. Here is what the enemy understood about you long before you understood it about yourself. He did not attack your weakness. He attacked your strength. He never bothered with your superficial flaws or your fleeting imperfections. His gaze was always fixed on the incandescent brilliance of the divine deposit within you. Every assignment against your life, every whisper of doubt, every mountain of opposition has been directed at the very gift the hook just named, that unique, formidable, heaven-breathed essence that makes you who you are. Think about that for a moment. Reflect on the battlefield of your past, the places where you have experienced the most warfare, the most profound confusion that twisted your thoughts into knots of despair, the most searing accusations that sought to brand your spirit with shame. Those are not random incidents scattered aimlessly across the tapestry of your life. Oh no, they form a meticulously drawn map, an intricate blueprint of attack, and every single point on that map points back to the same thing, the undeniable power of what you carry. The enemy does not waste precious resources on things that do not threaten him, on shadows that hold no light, or on empty vessels. The ferocity of the attack, the relentless intensity of the opposition you have faced, is not a sign of your inadequacy, but a resounding testimony to the immense magnitude and strategic importance of what you carry. He has been strategic in his assaults, precise in his targeting, because what is in you, that spiritual inheritance, that divine gifting, is profoundly strategic to the unfolding of God's kingdom on earth. And until you grasp this fundamental truth, until you understand that the target on your back was placed there not because of your supposed failures or shortcomings, but because of the glorious assignment etched into your very being, you will tragically keep interpreting the warfare as divine punishment, a cruel consequence of your inadequacy, when in the grand cosmic scheme, it was always positioning. It was the refining fire meant to purify, the pressure meant to solidify, the crucible meant to forge you into the precise instrument heaven needs. But here is where it goes deeper, where the threads of understanding begin to weave into a richer tapestry of truth. Because understanding that you carry something powerful, something intrinsically valuable and divinely significant, is only half of the revelation. It's like knowing you possess a rare and potent seed, but not understanding the soil it needs or the season for its bloom. The other half, the crucial transformative part that will take you from mere awareness of your potential into the vibrant, tangible realm of activation, is this. You have been trying to use your gift the way the world, with its loud demands and superficial metrics, trained you to perform. And let me assure you, with every fiber of truth in this message, those two things are not the same. They are worlds apart, like a whisper in a hurricane versus the still, small voice that moves mountains. Performance, as the world understands it, is inherently loud, striving, meticulously managed, and constantly curated for external approval. It demands an audience, a spotlight, a stage. It feeds on validation, adjusts its tone and timbre based on the fickle response in the room, shifting its essence to garner applause or avoid criticism. It is a dance for onlookers, a spectacle designed to impress. But the sacred, potent gift you carry was never, ever designed to perform. It was forged in the quiet fire of heaven to penetrate. There is a profound, life-altering difference between a voice that merely fills a room with sound, however eloquent or resonant, and a voice that actively opens one, that cleaves through spiritual atmospheres, breaks down invisible barriers, and unlocks pathways where none existed before. You have been exhaustingly trying to fill rooms with your effort, your striving, your managed brilliance, when heaven specifically trained you, equipped you, and empowered you to open them. And the deep, pervasive exhaustion you feel, that bone-deep weariness that sinks into your very marrow, the kind that has nothing to do with how many hours you slept or how much physical exertion you undertook, that, beloved soul, is the profound fatigue of someone who has been relentlessly performing what was always meant to be effortlessly released. It is the soul-sapping toll of trying to earn what was already freely given, of mimicking a worldly act when you were born for divine impartation. Consider, if you will, the mighty prophet Elijah on Mount Carmel, a breathtaking tableau of divine power against human pretense. He did not engage in performance for the thousands of frenzied prophets of Baal. He did not stoop to match their chaotic volume, their frantic, self-mutilating rituals, or their desperate, empty incantations. He didn't participate in their theatrical display designed to impress a fickle crowd. Instead, with quiet, resolute confidence born of deep alignment, he built an altar, a place of sacrifice and surrender. He then saturated it in water, drenching the wood, the stones, and the offering, until all human logic screamed that any spark of fire would be utterly impossible. It was a deliberate act, removing all human agency, all possibility of a natural explanation. And then he prayed one prayer. Just one. Not 40 repetitions of desperate pleas, not 100 frantic invocations. One solitary prayer, spoken from a heart so utterly aligned with the assignment in his hands, so perfectly attuned to the frequency of heaven, that fire, the very fire of God, fell from the heavens. And it consumed not just the sacrifice, which would have been miracle enough, but the wood, the stones, the dust, and even the copious water in the trench. That fire, that astonishing manifestation of divine power, was not the result of human effort, however intense. It was the incandescent, undeniable result of absolute alignment. It was the power of heaven meeting a prepared, surrendered, and perfectly positioned heart. And let this truth settle deep within your spirit. What is coming, what God is poised to unleash in your life, is not going to come through more striving, more frantic exertion, or more attempts to force open doors that only heaven can unlock. It is going to come through that same profound stillness, that intentional altar-building, water-saturating, heaven-locking alignment that declares with unshakable conviction, I know what I carry, I know who gave it to me, and I am done pretending it is anything less than the magnificent, world-changing, heaven-sent power that it truly is. It is a surrender that paradoxically unleashes unprecedented power, a quiet confidence that drowns out the clamor of the world and silences the accusations of the enemy. And this leads us to something most people miss entirely, a subtle yet profound detail that often escapes our hurried gaze in the dramatic narrative. Before the fire, before the epic showdown, before the rain, the Bible records a crucial, often overlooked act. Elijah repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down. He did not begin by calling fire down from the sky, as tempting as that might have been in the face of such blatant idolatry. He started by meticulously restoring what had been torn apart, broken and neglected. And I need you, my friend, to hear this with every fiber of your being, because this speaks directly to your journey, to your heart, and to your deepest spiritual architecture. There are areas in your life, in the very core of your faith, in the bedrock of your identity, in the sacred relationship with the gift itself, that have been broken down, worn thin, and fractured by years of unyielding rejection, by the constant barrage of being told you were too much, too sensitive, too intense, too passionate, too spiritual, too different. These are the subtle erosions caused by years of shrinking yourself, diminishing your divine stature, and dimming your brilliant light so that the people around you, often unknowingly, would feel comfortable in their own limited perceptions. And before the fire of God can fall in its full, unhindered measure, before the heavens can truly open and pour out their abundance, something deep within you needs to be tenderly repaired. Not fixed, as if it were a faulty mechanism, not overhauled, as if it were fundamentally flawed and needed complete replacement. No, it needs to be repaired. There is an enormous critical difference. What is broken in you was never, ever built wrong. You were built with exquisite precision, designed with divine intention, crafted perfectly by the master builder. But it was damaged by the relentless weight and pressure of environments, relationships, and expectations that were never designed to comprehend or hold the glorious immensity of what you carry. These were spaces too small, too constrained, too unyielding for the expansive, dynamic, prophetic spirit within you. Repairing means restoring to its original flawless design, gently rejoining what was fractured, reinforcing what was weakened, recognizing and honoring the sacred blueprint that was always perfect. Stay with me, because what is coming next is the layer beneath that one, the deep foundational stratum, and it is the layer that has the power to break the cycle completely, to shatter the invisible chains that have bound you. The damage, the rejection, the constant accusations did not just wound you on the surface of your being, leaving superficial scars that time could easily fade. No, far more insidiously, it planted a belief, a subtle yet powerful seed in the fertile ground of your subconscious. And that belief, once rooted, became an unfiltered, often unconscious lens through which you have been interpreting and reading every experience since. It's like wearing tinted glasses that subtly alter every color you perceive, making everything seem a little dimmer, a little off. The belief sounds something like this, a quiet, persistent whisper in the chambers of your heart. If I am truly gifted, if I am truly called by God, why has it been this hard? Why have the very people I was sent to serve, the very ones I longed to impact, been the ones who pushed me away, misunderstood me, or even actively sought my demise? Why have I been so consistently overlooked, so profoundly misunderstood, seemingly assigned to obscurity and wilderness seasons, when this undeniable, powerful thing inside of me feels like it was built for something significant, something radiant and world-changing? And because you have never had a divine framework for adequately addressing that searing question, no sacred architecture for understanding the purpose behind the pain, it has quietly, insidiously metastasized into something far more dangerous and paralyzing than mere doubt. Doubt can be overcome with revelation. This has become an agreement, an invisible, unspoken agreement, a quiet treaty signed in the shadows of your soul that whispers, maybe what I carry is real. Maybe the divine spark is genuine, but perhaps the timing is wrong. Perhaps I missed a crucial step. Perhaps I am not truly ready. Perhaps I need more training, more validation, more certainty. And that agreement, that quiet, reasonable-sounding treaty with delay, that subtle pact with procrastination, cloaked in what seems like spiritual prudence, has been the unyielding lid on everything heaven intends for you. It has been the invisible ceiling, stifling your growth, dampening your fire, and keeping your destiny confined. Because the truth that heaven sees, the absolute unvarnished reality from the perspective of the throne, is this: the people who pushed you away, who ostracized you, who rejected your offerings and your heart, were not rejecting your gift because it was flawed or false. On the contrary, they were, in their human limitation and unconscious resistance, revealing their precise assignment in your unfolding story. Think of Joseph, the dreamer. His brothers did not reject him because his gift of prophetic insight was false or insignificant. They rejected him because his gift was terrifyingly real and profoundly threatened the comfortable, predictable ceiling they had accepted for themselves. His vibrant, expansive dreams made their spiritual complacency deeply uncomfortable. His anointing shone too brightly for their dim understanding, exposing their own limitations and unfulfilled potential. And so, in their fear and jealousy, they sought to get rid of what they could not contain, what they could not control, what they could not comprehend. They sold him, thinking they were burying his dreams in the dry dust of a pit. But understand this profound truth, a truth the enemy, in his finite cunning, did not anticipate. Every single hand that threw Joseph into that desolate pit, every envious eye that cast him away, became an unwitting instrument, a divinely appointed propulsion system that carried him relentlessly toward the very palace he was destined to occupy. The rejection did not delay the dream. Oh no, my friend. The rejection was not a detour. The rejection was the delivery system itself. It was the rough, rugged path that led him straight to the throne. And if you dare to trace the last season of intense opposition in your life, if you courageously re-examine every perceived abandonment, every profound misunderstanding, every period of enforced obscurity with that divine lens, that heaven-breathed perspective, you will begin to see with startling clarity that what felt like soul-crushing abandonment was actually advancement in disguise. What felt like being buried alive, entombed in darkness and forgotten by the world, was actually the sacred act of being planted deep in the fertile ground of God's perfect timing, preparing for an exponential season of growth and fruitfulness that only darkness can cultivate. The very hands that sought to destroy you became the hands that inadvertently paved your way forward. And once that profound truth clicks, really clicks, not just intellectually, a fleeting thought entertained by your mind, but profoundly clicks in the deepest recesses of your spirit, in that sacred place where you make your most fundamental decisions and forge your core beliefs, something irrevocably shifts in how you carry yourself. It's like shedding a heavy, ill-fitting cloak and stepping into raiment woven from light. You stop waiting with bated breath and aching heart for the very people who rejected you to come back and finally validate what God, the creator of the universe, has already confirmed with his own voice and spirit. You cease rehearsing over and over the imagined moment when they will finally see, finally understand, finally acknowledge what heaven has already unmistakably showed you. This waiting, this rehearsing, this yearning for external approval begins to dissolve like mist in the morning sun. You release the crushing need for their understanding, their affirmation, their permission, because you suddenly realize, with liberating clarity, that their understanding was never the access point to your destiny. Their limited perspective was never the key to your kingdom assignment. God never promised that your unique, powerful gift would make perfect sense to everyone around you. In fact, more often than not, it will challenge their paradigms and disrupt their comfort zones. No, he said something far more potent and personally liberating. He said it would make room for you. And those, my beloved, are not the same crowd. One seeks conformity, the other demands expansion. One seeks comfort, the other demands courageous pioneering. Your gift creates its own space, its own sphere of influence, carving out a path where you are meant to walk, regardless of who understands or approves. But let me challenge you with something even more profound, because this is where it gets deeply uncomfortable for most people, where the raw edges of truth meet our carefully constructed illusions. And this, I must admit, is the part that most people in this spiritual space, even those with powerful platforms, will not dare to say out loud, because it asks us to look inward with unflinching honesty. A significant, often overlooked portion of what you have been faithfully calling spiritual warfare, the relentless battles, the internal resistance, the unexplained blockages, is actually the direct, palpable resistance that comes not from an external demonic force, but from your own stubborn, albeit unconscious, refusal to fully step into the radiant identity God has assigned you. And I want to say that with all the love, all the grace, and all the profound clarity I can possibly bring, because this is not an accusation designed to condemn you. This is a precise spiritual diagnosis, offered with the intention of bringing healing and liberation. Because, my friend, there are indeed two distinct kinds of warfare. There is the legitimate spiritual warfare that comes against you, directly from the enemy, precisely because he is profoundly threatened by what you are becoming, by the magnificent divine design you are stepping into. This is the external assault, the fiery darts, the unseen battles waged against your advancement. But then there is the other, often more debilitating war, the internal war that rages fiercely within your own soul. This war stems from the expansive, aching gap between who God has unequivocally called you to be, your glorious heaven-stamped identity, and who you are still allowing your painful history, your past wounds, your old narratives, and the limiting beliefs of others to tell you that you are. Both types of warfare are undeniably real, both inflict pain, and both demand your attention. But only one of them requires a different external enemy to be confronted. The other, the internal war, requires a different, courageous, decisive internal decision from you. It requires a choice to align your inner world with heaven's truth rather than with earth's history. Coming up, the hidden root underneath even that war. And it is not what you think. It runs deeper, disguising itself so cleverly that many mistake it for a virtue. Stay with me, for uncovering this truth is like finding the master key to your liberation. Because here is what is actually underneath the refusal to step fully in, underneath the persistent delay that has stalled your progress and silenced your voice, underneath the invisible agreement you've unconsciously made with obscurity, thinking it's safer to remain unseen, underneath the exhausting performance and the painful shrinking of your true self, all done to fit into uncomfortable, restrictive spaces, underneath the endless waiting for permission that is never going to come from the people you have been waiting on, because they simply don't have the authority or the capacity to grant it. Underneath all of it, every layer of hesitation, every tremor of self-doubt, and this, my friend, is the part that truly breaks everything open, revealing the intricate deception at play, is a profound, deeply rooted fear that is dressed so beautifully, adorned with such spiritual elegance, that it looks to the casual observer, and even to yourself, exactly like humility. It is a wolf in sheep's clothing, a spiritual camouflage for your greatest internal barrier. It sounds so virtuous, so pious, so spiritually attuned. It sounds like this: I do not want to get ahead of God. I want to make absolutely sure this is really Him speaking, really His divine leading, and not just my own ego, my own desires, or my own ambition. I do not want to be presumptuous, to step out of order, or to claim something that isn't truly mine. I want to be submitted and patient, to wait for the perfect right moment, the undeniable green light from heaven. And let me be clear, these are not inherently evil words. These are, on the surface, holy words. They are the words of someone who genuinely loves God, who deeply desires to honor Him, and who does not want to move out of His divine order. These are the earnest cries of a sincere heart. But I need you to hear what that deceptively humble voice is not telling you, the crucial piece of the puzzle it deliberately omits. It is not telling you that Moses, the mighty deliverer, the man who spoke face to face with God, said almost the very same thing at the burning bush. When confronted with his audacious, impossible assignment, he offered every version of humble delay he could muster. He pleaded, "Who am I that I should go before Pharaoh, the most powerful ruler on earth, and bring the children of Israel out of Egypt? I am nothing, a humble shepherd, a murderer with a stutter." He insisted, "They will not believe me. They will ask, 'What is his name? Who sent you?'" He argued, "I am not eloquent, Lord, neither in the past nor now. I am slow of speech and slow of tongue." He offered every single, seemingly reasonable, humble excuse to justify his profound fear and hesitation. And what did the Almighty God, the sovereign Lord of all creation, say in response to Moses' fear dressed as humility? He did not comfort Moses' fear, nor did he validate his perceived inadequacies. No, he confronted it directly, cutting through the self-deprecation to the core of truth. He asked a powerful, penetrating question, one that echoed through the desert and resonated through eternity. What is that in your hand? Not, what do you wish you had before you move? Not, what are you waiting to receive before you act? But, what is already in your hand right now, at this very moment, this tangible evidence of my provision and your capacity? It was a question that shifted Moses' focus from his perceived lack to his present, God-given resource. And that, my beloved friend, is the exact, potent question heaven is asking you today. Not what do you need to acquire before you step forward. Not what final healing do you need to undergo before you are deemed ready. Not what ultimate confirmation are you still desperately waiting on from external sources. The question that pierces through every layer of delay and doubt is simply this: what is already in your hand? What has already been placed in you, an indelible divine mark? What has already been tested by fire, refined through the crucible of rejection, proven resilient through every single attempt to extinguish its flame? What divine endowment has survived the wilderness, the accusations, the shrinking, the performing? Because the answer to that question, the profound truth embedded in your present reality, is the same answer Moses had. And Moses, with a simple shepherd's staff in his hand, a tangible symbol of his existing resources and God's empowering presence, had enough in his hand to part an entire sea, to collapse the seemingly insurmountable kingdom of Egypt, and to lead an entire generation of millions of people into a land overflowing with promise. Your staff is in your hand now. And here is the unexpected thing, the profound, often overlooked revelation. The thing you probably did not see coming, the exquisite twist in the divine narrative. The very weapon you carry, the very gift that has made you feel displaced, misunderstood, and utterly alone for most of your life. That profound sensitivity that allows you to feel the currents of the Spirit, that unusual depth that enables you to see beyond the surface, that intense, unyielding passion that others have called too much. It was never fully meant just for the people you are called to serve. While it is undoubtedly a conduit for divine service, it was also, and perhaps even primarily, meant to complete something profound and essential within you. God did not bestow upon you a prophetic gift, or a gift of healing, or teaching, or leadership, only so you could deliver words over other people's lives, or bring comfort to strangers, or illuminate paths for others to walk. He gave it to you, infused it into your very being, so that the profound act of carrying it, of stewarding it with reverence, of courageously releasing it into the world, and of witnessing Him powerfully move through it, would meticulously, tenderly, and supernaturally heal the very wounds the enemy precisely used your gift to create. Your gift, that thing that has been the source of so much pain and isolation, is not just your assignment, your mandate, your divine calling. Your gift, in its essence, is also your deepest, most profound healing. And the moment you stop manipulating it for external performance, seeking applause or validation, and instead start releasing it as pure, unadulterated worship, a sacred offering back to the one who gave it, something profound and ancient closes in you that has been exposed and open for a very long time. Something that the enemy, in his predatory cunning, has been reaching into, exploiting, and using as an access point to your soul. And when that vital divine portal closes, the insidious access he has had to your peace, to your true identity, and to your sacred sense of divine belonging, that unshakable knowing that you are cherished and connected, closes with it, irrevocably and eternally. This closing is not a deprivation, it is a profound sealing, a divine fortification of your inner sanctuary. This, my beloved, is where the real transformation begins, not in scrambling to get more clarity from external signs, more confirmation from human voices, more open doors presenting themselves perfectly. No, the true radical transformation ignites in the courageous act of releasing what is already undeniably, powerfully in your hands, right here, right now, without waiting for permission from people who were never assigned by heaven to give it to you in the first place. Your authority comes from above, not from around you. Place your hand on your heart right now, wherever you are, and speak this with me, letting each word resonate with the truth of your spirit. I release every agreement I have made with delay. I break every treaty I have signed with the insidious lie that my gift disqualifies me. I declare that the profound sensitivity that often made me feel alone, exposed, and misunderstood was not a weakness, but the precise radar of heaven, attuned to frequencies others cannot perceive, and I will no longer call it a burden, but a blessing. I declare that the fierce intensity people told me to hide, to suppress, to dim, is not a flaw, but a powerful signal, a divine current, and I will no longer suppress it to make rooms comfortable that I was explicitly called to shift, to transform, to ignite. I release the desperate need for the validation of those who, in their own limitations, rejected what they simply could not carry or comprehend. I release the false humility that has, for far too long, dressed my profound fear in holy language and deceptively called it waiting on God. What is in my hand is enough, more than enough, for the journey ahead. What God placed in me before I was even formed in my mother's womb, before the foundations of the world, is undeniably enough. I am not behind. I am perfectly positioned in His divine timeline. I am not disqualified. I am divinely chosen and uniquely equipped. I am not broken in my essence. I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and now beautifully repaired. I am loaded with celestial provision. I am perfectly aligned with heaven's will. I am powerfully activated by the Spirit of the living God, and from this moment forward, with every fiber of my being, I walk boldly, courageously, and unreservedly in what heaven assigned me. Not when the external circumstances finally confirm it, not when the people around me finally understand or approve of it, but now, this very instant, because the God who placed it in me is irrevocably faithful, and His timing is not tied to my human readiness or my perceived perfection, but to His boundless, unwavering sovereignty. I step forward. I step in. And I do not, under any circumstances, go back. My past is my testimony, not my prison. My future is my inheritance, not my question mark. If this message met you at the exact moment it was supposed to, if it stirred a dormant truth within your spirit, leave a comment and tell me, what is the one thing God is activating in you right now that you have been waiting for permission to release? Because I want to agree with you in that, and I want to watch what happens when you stop waiting and start walking.